My name's Tommy Scrivens, and I'm the founder, privileged to be the founder of Accent Roofing Service. I started roofing in 76 as a freshman returnee from college. That first summer was built-up roofing. It was hot asphalt, and I learned how to run the kettle, and I learned how to run the hot cart. Like every roofer in the world, I did that for a couple years, and I finally started getting a little big for my britches, and I thought, hey, I could do this. I wasn't nervy enough to immediately go out and try to start my own business because I was working a day job. I had a real job. I just wanted a side gig, so I got hired by the biggest roofing company in town at that time. They were down on Piedmont. They're no longer in business. But that guy turned me loose with one of his trucks. If I just showed up, told the truth, and did the job properly, it was amazing how many people would hire me. So Kathy's my wife, and of course she was in from day one because I wasn't going to do this if she wasn't on board. At that time, my oldest son, Vinny, was 3, and my younger son, because I didn't have 3 at the time, Philip was 1.5. And so they grew up like, it's kind of like being a football coach's kid. They didn't grow up in the roofing business, but they grew up sitting around the dinner table hearing roofing tales. And most of those tales had to do with taking care of people. They didn't really have a whole lot to do with the nuts and bolts of roofing, because that's not Kathy's strong suit. Kathy's strong suit is perceiving how people are feeling, what they want, what do we need to do to make sure people are taken care of. And that, to me, when you boil it right down, is really the benefit of a mom and pop shop. It's not, mom and pop shouldn't mean, these guys are primitive or these guys are backwards. It should mean that they care, because what they do is who they are. And kind of what we hit on in the early years and what we still do to this day is we hire good, great people. And so we have a tremendous number of cross-trained people, which means that if there's a drought and calls are down a little bit, there's still something you can do to move the whole thing forward.
Hi, my name's Philip Scrivens. I am the president at Accent Roofing Service. I like to joke with people when they say, or ask when I got my start in the business. I say August 14th, 1983, which is my birthday, which really means I was born into the business. We have a joke, we call it Coach's Benefits, and this is from when I played rec baseball. There'd be times when a kid on the team, his dad would be a coach, and they would get a starting role, not because of talent, but because of their relationship to the father, to the coach. And me and my dad always went out of the way to make sure I wasn't getting coach's benefits. If I was gonna get a role, it was because I earned it. My first actual hands-on roofing experience was probably when I was about 13 years old. I started working as a ground man, which that's all the grunt work. You're picking up trash, you're running stuff up the ladder, and that's where most roofers start. And then I started driving around when I got my license, looking for missing shingles on people's houses. And this is before insurance was a thing. So I would knock on their door and just say, hey, if you've got some missing shingles, I'm happy to replace them. You just pay me what you think is fair. And I used to, as a teenager, it was a great gig. I did that for a few years, as well as working as a repair apprentice during the summers for 3 really good roofers. Then I went to college and joined the Army, and I came back right around the time when the first big hailstorm hit the Atlanta area. I'm very big on consistency. We have work year-round, which has allowed us to have the same crews for over 10 years, which is something that I invest a lot of effort into as well. It starts from the very first phone call. We've got people that are bilingual in case somebody doesn't speak English. We get a lot of great info up front so that our sales guys are set up to win when they get out there. I spend a lot of time going over products and answering questions with our clients. So we really don't ask anybody to pay until they're 100% satisfied. Part of my role as general manager and why I eventually became president of this company is that I've always had an eye on innovation and making sure that we're leading the industry and setting the bar for all roofers in Atlanta.
For 35 years, we've studied a lot of roofing. We've learned a lot about roofing, but we have studied people even more. And what that's resulted in is a tremendous focus on serving our clients.
What that means for you is that our entire team is dedicated each and every day to providing you with the best contractor experience that you have ever had.